Hello everybody, this is SteroidUnicorn here and welcome back to another Minecraft video. And today we are back on the Runescape test world and we are going to check out the woodcutting system today. So right now we are at the 4 different types of trees that we can cut down in Runescape that are set right now. There are others that I'm planning on adding, but these are the ones right now. And in this book right here we can see all of our skills and what level we have in them. Woodcutting says 1, so with a woodcutting level of 1 we can only cut, oh well, I'm in creative mode, that would game mode adventure, but that's a feature right there that I just showed. It will delete the whole tree if you mine this one block, and then it will put the whole tree back after I think like 20 seconds, something like that, so that you can't just sit at the same tree and mine it over and over again. So you would mine one, and then you would mine another one, and then you would mine down, you know, probably like 5 or 6 trees, and then you would be able to start over again, something like that. But yeah, so the axes. Okay, so let's start with the axes. So the axes, we have a bronze axe with a woodcutting level requirement of 1. So you can see it gives me mining fatigue 2. That's just the speed at which it can mine because it's a low level axe, right? So you can see it'll still mine the wood, it's just pretty slow, so you're obviously going to want to upgrade from this, but it'll still mine it. This steel axe right here, it says requires level 6, which I only have level 1 right now, as you can see over here, woodcutting level 1, so it won't actually let me cut down this tree. So if I give myself a little bit more XP, well, actually, let's stay at 1 for a second here. So this I can cut down. And there we go. So the tree cuts down just like that, and it will delete the whole tree, as I said, and respawn, and it will give me a log, or logs rather, which are actually carrot on a stick, because they're used for the next thing I'm going to show, which is the firemaking. But yeah, so now if we go over to this tree and try to mine it,
1 eternity later,
you'll see that it won't give me anything, and it will say in the chat, this tree requires level 15 to chop down. So each one will show you the level that it requires to cut down if you try to cut it down before you're at that level. So I believe this is 40 and this is 60 if I remember correctly, and it will tell you that in the chat. And then once you're past that level, it will allow you to cut it down. So the next part I thought was kind of interesting, a way to randomize the amount of logs that the player will get. If you go scoreboard, objectives, set display, sidebar, oak randomizer, you can see in the side there, it is counting up to 20 and then resetting back to 0 and counting up to 20 and resetting back to 0. And the reason for that is when I cut down any of these 3 trees, it will give me a random number of logs, or the player will see it as random, and based on that number. So if I cut it down when it's at 2, it'll give me 1 log. If I cut it down when it's at 8, it'll give me 2 logs, or something like that, right? And that way you can control how much each one will give you. So I'm gonna level myself up in woodcutting. So we go scoreboard, players, set, SteroidUnicorn, woodcutting XP, and we'll just give myself 1,000,000 XP just so we're at a high enough level. So now we are at level 73, and we can use this axe now. You can see this axe no longer gives me mining fatigue, and we can chop that down, and you can see right here we got, what is that, 1 2 3 4 5 6 logs. So that's using the oak randomizer. Each one of these is using the same oak randomizer. So if we go and try to cut this down, you can see we only got 1 willow log from that, but you can get up to a decent amount. I think you can get up to like 10 or 12, something like that. This gave me 2 yew logs. So you're more likely to get less logs, but you can get a higher amount. So we'll see, we'll cut down this oak again. And what do we get there? We got 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. I'm not sure if that's the same amount as last time, but you get the idea. And you can see here that each tree will give a different amount of XP. So this right here, if we cut that down, will give a very little bit. I think that was probably like 6. This will give, that was a bit more. And this will give more. I think this is 90. And then this right here is, I believe, like 200 or something like that. Yeah, about 200. And if you don't have the inventory space, it'll just toss them on the ground. So I would recommend making sure you have the space for it. But yeah, so that's it for the trees. And now I'm going to go over to the firemaking rather, which is underneath or above wood cutting. So we got the yew logs, willow logs, oak logs, and logs. Each one takes a different level to level requirement to actually start a fire with. So we got logs there, just regular logs, and you right click and it will start a fire. Just like that if you right click with the logs. And if you right click on the fire, you will get this interface right here with all the different cooking options that are in the game at the moment. So this is fully customizable. You can obviously set this up yourself if you wanted to have a villager show up underneath the fire, and then as that little puff of smoke right there is when the fire expires, the villager's gone, and that is all you can do with it. So yeah, the fire will totally control itself. It'll time itself. The tick rate is off on this, or random tick speed rather is off on this world, so fires will never go out. But I used a timer in the scoreboard to do that. So these will not light on any place that is a half block. It will light on a fence, but not if you're in the middle of the fence block on the side there. It also will not light on top of a flower. So yeah, I've got a couple different foods here. So if you right click like this, and then that's for some reason killed the villager right away. One sec. There we go. I'm not sure why that one died, but yeah. So you can take your shrimp and grab your shrimps there, and you can go over here, grab your herring, cook your herring. And these are actually diamond axes, but you could, if you wanted to not have the same system I have, you could just do regular food. You could have normal Minecraft food in here and have it as a cooking system like that. But yeah, and you can see it deletes itself. So yeah, that's basically it for this video, I think. It's pretty quick, but I thought it was really interesting the way it was done. All the XP is stored, so you'll get XP for woodcutting and firemaking for each action you do. And yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Leave a like and subscribe if you did. I'm going to be coming up with a lot more in the future with different ideas, because this world is chock full of different things that I've done. And yeah, so make sure to leave a like and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video.